the senator representing Abia State in the upper legislative chamber, Senator ABARIBE, has again publicly declared support for the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, ß NNAMDI KANU. Senator ABARIBE blasted Igbo politicians for not supporting NNAMDI KANU. And I will tell you this for free. If you are a Biafran, you are a progressive-minded person that is trapped in that contraption called Nigeria, a geographical expression. I want to tell you this for free, that the cooperation of the politicians demanding for Biafra will definitely bring about Biafra. And if the Biafra nation is not going to include certain people that were part of the war, if they want to have their own nation, it is not a crime for them to have their own nation. I'm talking of the Niger Delta and River State and some other, Port Harcourt and some other parts that are part of Biafra originally. But if they do not want to be part of Biafra, I don't think it's a problem if they want to stay by themselves. And the politicians that we have right now, they are not ready because they are comfortable with the structure. They know if things are in a better shape, if things are put in the right direction, they will not be able to perpetrate their criminal activities any longer. They will not be able to buy that very expensive automobile, buy that expensive house somewhere, a mansion in the United States, and give it to their girlfriend and even forget about it. They will not be able to perpetrate any of this in a system that works. Everything in the nation, everything in the new country will be for the people, and they don't want you out there to have anything. That is why it's difficult for them to come in support, in solidarity, and demand for a nation. People talked about having a conference where they will discuss the future. Are we going to vote to stay in or not? A referendum. None of this was accepted. None of this was accepted. Now, people would go back and say if the Decree 8 during Gowon had been effected, one way or the other, Biafra would still have come. Nigeria would have divided into 3 or 4 regions, 4 different countries eventually. Because now, this is coming from a senator who is famed for being the only senator with courage to ask Buhari to resign for incompetency, something that the rest of the senators from the southeast of Nigeria or anyone from those parts south cannot even come up with. And for defending the cause of the southeast people in the Senate, he is said to be an ardent supporter of NNAMDI KANU, and he has reiterated reasons why he supported KANU and why he will continue to support him. The senator also blamed other Igbo leaders and politicians for not protecting NNAMDI KANU and his group, even when it was obvious that their intentions were in the interest of the zone. ABARIBE also applauded KANU for the relief materials, food materials he sent to his people in the east to cushion the effects of the lockdown. He disclosed that the North defends Boko Haram and herdsmen, even when it is obvious that they are terrorist group detrimental to their people and to the country at large. But politicians of Igbo extraction did the opposite to NNAMDI KANU and his IPOB group, which is the indigenous people of Biafra, which is pathetic. Here is an excerpt of a statement from his Twitter account, and I'm going to go through this. He said, "Have you people seen why I supported NNAMDI KANU throughout the time he was in Nigeria? I know he is a good man and means well for the people. That's why I took it upon myself to stand shorty for him when he was granted bail. Most times I see my fellow politicians against KANU and his IPOB. That is not good. Even in the North, their politicians don't speak against Boko Haram and herdsmen, even when it's a terrorist group. We need to give IPOB support since they have proven that they can deliver. What if KANU was killed in Python dance, like many Igbo politicians supported it? Who could have bring money today to help our people in this hard time? It's time we leaders in the South is retrospect and introspect over how we have handled IPOB issues since their inception." Senator ABARIBE. Now, this is attributed to him. Now, like I said the way forward is for politicians, from the southeast, the people that have the ear of this Fulani government, the people that have been in the system for long, I wonder why these people will not do this. But then I don't need to wonder that too far. It's because they are part of the system that has brought the nation to where it is. They are your local government chairman. They are your House of Rep member. They are your governors. They are your senators. And they are all over the place. Their job is to make sure that they steal, they loot, and they kill. It is all about their own personal pocket and nothing more. Nothing more. Only their own personal interest. They care less about no other person. That is why they will not want to unite. I'm not talking about them uniting with IPOB per se. It is not about the IPOB group. We've got different groups. We've got MASOB. We've got different groups. Even though right now, IPOB is the one that is at least working. They are working it out positively, progressively, using different approaches. I'm not talking about them joining IPOB. The governors, the politicians don't need to join IPOB. All that they need to do is to do the original. And what is the original? The original is not IPOB. The original is emancipation of the people from poverty, from tyranny. Making sure that people have a sense of belonging, and for everybody to at least look at themselves and say, yes, I am a citizen of this country. Not to be a puppet, not to be a number, not to be just called masses, inconsequential like it is today. That is the most important. How do you liberate your people? How do you do this? It's right time for them to speak up. It's right time for them to stand up. If all the Igbos, if all Biafrans, if all the South can unite together, they will definitely achieve this. But if they are all scattered with different vested interests here and there, it will be very difficult for this to be achieved. IPOB is struggling today because of the attitude of many of these politicians and some of the rulers, the monarchs in the southeast of Nigeria. I understand that there are internal issues, ethnic issues in Biafra itself, but those are just few compared to what is on at the moment. There is hardship in the north. Let us forget Hausa Fulani and this structure. Nobody asks to be born in any location in the world. There is hardship in the north. Hardship does not discriminate. It is in the north. The same effect is felt. Buhari is there, has not changed the life of an Amagiri children on the street in the north. And the little boy and the little girl never asked to be born into that northern part of Nigeria. Probably the child would have been born somewhere else. And also in the southeast of Nigeria is the same. No one asked to be born during the Civil War. And even right now, what is going on at the moment? No one asked to be born, but somehow you find yourself in a particular location. And the point is, when you find yourself in that particular position, in that location, you are there for a purpose, and you have to do the needful to change your circumstances and your situation. And NNAMDI KANU has decided to change the circumstances. He was born there for a purpose. He was born into that family for a purpose, and he's actually doing what he was born for. And you are there. What are you born for? What are you doing? Are you part of the confucionists, the saboteurs? Many of them are there as politicians. They are gaining money from the system. They are not ready to do anything for anyone. They come in crying like they are there to serve. Once they get into the position, they become untouchable. They become people that they become so high and mighty, and you cannot come close to them. You cannot relate with them any longer. Some of them will end up building statues rather than building up people. They are building statues. These are the kind of politicians that we have in the South. Biafra must come. The break of Nigeria must come, even if it's not called Biafra, even if it is the Igbos that cut away, if it's Niger Delta that cuts away. The truth of the matter and the most important thing is that the country must break apart, and then we'll see how things are. Although, like I do say, it is very important that we reflect, because over time we've been saddled with some kinds of people, some kind of attitude, some kind of behavioral decay. We've been saddled with some things over time that might be difficult for things to be done in the right perspective, because you should have a system that works. We are talking of the value system. We are talking of the culture, the belief system, and what is acceptable and what should be frowned upon. This has to be looked into. So it's very important that this is looked into. So ABARIBE, he has stood up and he has said no to the regime of oppression and intimidation, not just about Buhari. I keep repeating, Buhari is not only the problem of Nigeria, Buhari is part of the problem of Nigeria. This administration is part of the problem of Nigeria. From the 1960s to date, anyone that has crossed that corridor of power here and there, they are part of the problems that we have in Nigeria. So the way forward, people have said it several times, there is no way Nigeria is going to unite together and form and become a formidable force and make use of their natural resources, human resources and all of that. It's not going to be possible from the look of things, because we have been divided. Religion has divided. Hunger has been used as a weapon. Politics, a lot of things. Tribe, ethnicity, a lot of things are wrong. And the structure is not standing properly. So the only way to get things done is for the system itself to be, it's already broken. It's for it to be totally dislodged. And afterwards, each region can then come together as one and recount all their losses and begin a new life. And when I say a new life, I'm talking of a totally new life. Enough of all of this. It's so sad when we even look at these things and talk about it. It's not interesting at all. It's a terrible thing. The struggling of IPOB, the struggling of certain groups of people to just break the system out, while some people are there, rather than them finding themselves, putting themselves in the right direction. They will not. They are rather the one fighting against progress. It's a terrible thing. So ABARIBE has said his own piece. He's a politician. How I wish there are more voices like him that will speak truth to power and also embrace progress in a better way. Not the kind of progress that comes only to your pocket. Not nepotism, not corruption. But they will not do this. They will not do this. All of the people in the South, they are included in all of this. They will not do this. They like the way the structure is. They like the way Nigeria is at the moment. They want it to remain Nigeria so that they can continue to oppress, so that they can continue to line their own pocket. So they will never support anything that is going to bring succor, anything that is going to bring reprieve, anything that is going to bring rest, anything that is going to bring progress to anybody that is in that country. Just look at what is happening right now. We are talking about COVID-19 palliative measure. Is this the way other countries are doing it? Is it the way they are taking care of their citizens? And you are there still supporting a government that is not helping you for one reason or the other, because you hate one tribe, you hate this person, you hate that religion, and rather than you saying the truth, you have become a typical Nigerian rather than being an exceptional Nigerian. So guys, that's what it is for now. Thanks for stopping by.